The We corruption scandal is an organization that receives sole source contracts from the government, from the taxpayer. They then set up a real estate company and gobble up over $40 million worth of prime downtown Toronto real estate. They also pay members of the Prime Minister's immediate family cash for speaking engagements. And they also provide a huge platform for Liberals to do their campaigning. They even did an election-style ad promoting the Prime Minister himself. But they get into trouble, Mr. Speaker. Red flags start going up about their bank covenant. Members of the board resign. And so they lobby the government, and the government gives them another sole source contract that they are able to take $40 million worth of administration fees from. Canadians rightly are concerned by this kind of you scratch my back, I scratch your back type of relationship with a Liberal-friendly organization. So I have a series of very simple yes or no questions to help Canadians understand the depths of this scandal. Was the Prime Minister aware that the agreement that he signed with this organization was not with the We charity itself, but was with a shell corporation that has no assets and no history of charitable work?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as was made clear at committee, the nonpartisan public service recommended this approach as the only way to deliver this program in the timeline required this summer during COVID. Last week, I acknowledged that I should have recused myself, and I apologized. But our goal was and is to provide opportunities for students to serve in their communities right across the country in this unprecedented time. Obviously, the way it unfolded was regrettable, and the program is no longer unfolding as we'd said. In regards to aspects of the We Charity Foundation, the public service worked to find the best possible delivery of this program to get student grants for volunteer hours. The public service worked with the We organization to develop the agreement, and the work was done and negotiated at the officials level in those details. We have consistently approached as a way of empowering young people across the country, the way other governments of all stripes have worked with this organization in the past.
The Leader of the Opposition.
That didn't answer the question, Mr. Speaker. Was the Prime Minister aware that this agreement was being signed with a shell corporation with no history of charitable work? Yes or no?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The details of the agreement was worked out at the officials level.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The Prime Minister has to understand, it's not about him recusing himself from this decision. The Clerk of the Privy Council himself said that it would be impossible for the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister to recuse themselves from giving a sole source contract to an organization with such close ties to the Liberal Party and his immediate family. Was the Prime Minister aware that the shell corporation that signed the contracts' sole stated purpose was to hold real estate?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
As I said, Mr. Speaker, governments of all stripes, including Stephen Harper's government, worked closely with this organization to deliver opportunities for young people. When it came to negotiating the specific contract with this organization, the civil service worked out the details of that.
I'm just going to pause and stop the clock for a second. I understand that it's very emotional and it gets very tense in here sometimes, but coaching somebody with answers probably isn't the right way to have these sessions. I just want to point that out to those who are shouting across from one side or the other. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Did the Prime Minister or anyone in his office receive the unsolicited proposal that Craig Kielburger sent to officials on April 9th? Yes or no?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
No, Mr. Speaker, we move forward on creating a program that would get young people to serve right across the country. And the civil service made recommendations around which organization we could partner with.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Did the Prime Minister or anyone in his office receive the proposal that included the student grant program that was sent to the Finance Minister's office on April 21st, a day before the announcement was made? Yes or no?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, throughout my career and throughout the life of this government, we've been focused on giving opportunities to young people in a range of ways, and we've continued to look to do that during this COVID crisis.
Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, he answered no to the previous question, but he couldn't answer yes or no to that question. So I wonder what that means, Mr. Speaker. Did the Prime Minister or anyone in his office speak to anyone at We, prior to his April 22nd announcement on the student grant?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, giving opportunities to young people through service and volunteer work across the country was important to this government, has been important to this government for an awfully long time. We will continue to look to create opportunities for young people.